What is going on, guys? I know we have been on hiatus for a while. Holidays, other obligations, but we are back on track with the Shoot 'em Up Showdown. And in today's episode, we are going to tackle the blue section. Now, the blue section, real quick, we have Tokyo, Xevious, Soldice, Tiger Heli, Stratofighter, Castle Shikigami 2, Tailspin, and UN Squadron. Those are the games in the blue section. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. First game is Tokyo, which comes to us via the Taito Legends collection for the original Xbox. Kind of a side note, if you don't have this, you should probably get this in your collection, man. There's a lot of really great games on here. But today, like I said, we're taking a look at Tokyo. Alright, and Tokyo will be going up against an NES classic, Xevious. Alright, guys. Oh, they're both, top-down, shoot-'em-up type things. I found Tokyo a little bit harder to control. You need a little bit more discipline to play that game and to learn the power-ups, stuff like that. All the little tails that attach to your plane, count as hits or power. I don't even know anymore. It was so weird. I guess I could have looked at the manual. But Xevious is definitely a classic for the NES. It was the first game that I played that I didn't know if it ended or not. Like, it just kind of keeps looping back and forth. And, you could, take out ground enemies, and you really had to, know the level and strategize and all that kind of stuff. So, in the matchup between Tokyo off the Taito Legends collection and Xevious, we're going to go ahead and give the nod today. Not that Tokyo is a totally bad game, but today our winner is Xevious. In the second battle, in the blue section, we've got Soldice for the Sega Genesis. Man, I wish I had a Sega Genesis when I was a kid, but I'm enjoying it now. But yeah, Soldice for the Sega Genesis. Soldice is also going up against a Nintendo game, a favorite of mine, very nostalgic about it, and it's going up against Tiger Heli. Alright guys, so here we go. It's matchup time. Tiger Heli, like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia for this game. We played it as a kid. Very easy to sort of pick up and play. The power-up system really, I don't know if you really even count it as a power-up system. You basically shoot the ground targets, and you can choose between getting another bomb or getting a sidekick helicopter that either shoots straight or, you know, to the left or the right. But very easy to pick up and play. Very cheap game, fun to play, like I said. That's really all that we can say about it. The Genesis just dominated this matchup. Soldice is fantastic. It moves fast. You know, the explosions are good. Everything sounds great in this game. So moving on to the second round of the blue section, Soldice, man, no doubt about it. All right, the third matchup in our blue section pits Stratofighter. Stratofighter is an interesting game, and it comes to us via the Tecmo Classic Arcade. Again, another Xbox title. If you don't have that in your collection, definitely get it. I like having compilation discs around. As you can see, only for Xbox there. But today we're looking at Stratofighter.
One, stop. Strike one, speed rising. Strike one, kill counter.
Strato Fighter has the very difficult task of going up against, in my opinion, one of the great shoot 'em ups from the PS1 and PS2 era, Castle Shikigami 2. Alright guys, let's play Castle Shikigami 2. Alright, here we go. Alright, so it's versus time. We've got Strato Fighter and Castle Shikigami. Now, Strato Fighter is one of those games where it's gonna take a lot of time and patience to put into the game, to really learn the game and the power-up systems. It's also one of those games that I don't like. It's maneuverability inequality, where you kind of move slow and everything around you moves fast, and you don't really have a lot of time to react because your ship, doesn't move fast. But I'm sure there's like speed power-ups and things like that in the game. I don't know. It's not a bad game, like I said. It's got this interesting mechanic where you can flip around, you can flip your ship around and shoot things that are behind you. But honestly, things come so fast that I think that mechanic doesn't work well for that type of game. If they maybe have kept it a little bit more R-type or a little bit more Gradius style, then I think they would have been a lot better off. Castle Shikigami, on the other hand, as you can see, looks amazing. It is a bullet hell style shoot 'em up. It's actually categorized as a grazing bullet hell style shoot 'em up, meaning that the closer you are to the enemy bullets, the more powerful your return fire is. Interesting mechanic. I think there's 7 or 8 different characters. They each have their own shot patterns and Shikigami powers. Each character has 2 different Shikigami powers that you can choose from. So yeah, today, without a doubt, Strato Fighter was just way overmatched by Castle Shikigami 2. Alright, here we go. The last matchup in the blue bracket, the blue section of the bracket. The most anticipated matchup of all time in the history of shoot 'em up tournaments. But we've got Disney's Capcom Tailspin for the NES. And Tailspin today is taking on UN Squadron, man. Alright, so here we go with the matchup, the versus Tailspin on the NES, a Disney Capcom game. I gotta be honest, you know, Disney and Capcom, the collaboration effort that they had in the 8-bit era and the 16-bit era, there weren't a lot of misses. And I think everybody would agree with that. Not all the games are perfect, but they didn't miss a lot. A lot of the games are good. This isn't one of those games. UN Squadron just absolutely beats the crap out of Tailspin. I think they just tried to do too much with Tailspin. You know what I mean? Like, if they would have just made it a regular shoot 'em up, almost a cute 'em up type thing, I think they would have been a lot better off. But when you're talking about a game like that, a Disney Capcom sort of kids type game, you can't have this weird backwards mechanic that traps you in things and kills you, and you can only have one bullet on the screen at the time until you start to level up. It just doesn't even play well. Graphically, it looks good. But UN Squadron wins, hands down, no doubt about it. I don't think anybody saw an upset right there. If you were in Las Vegas and you had to bet UN Squadron versus Tailspin, that would have been the safest bet of the millennium. But UN Squadron, man, it's just an amazing game. With the, you can upgrade your ships or buy new ships and all the power-ups, sort of the branching paths and the different type of gameplay elements where maybe it's a side scroller or, they have those levels where you kind of have to sweep back and forth and destroy the base. Those are definitely cool. I like the explosions in it. The soundtrack is killer. And like I said, there's no doubt about it. UN Squadron wins. And let's take a look at who's moving on. Alright guys, before we get out of here, let's do a quick recap of Side A of our bracket, just so you guys know what's coming up in the future. We've got Shooter Space Shot moving on to take on Lightning Force. Star Soldier Vanishing Earth for the N64, very underrated game there, taking on NES powerhouse Legendary Wings. You guys saw today, Xevious moves on to take on Soul Dees for the Sega Genesis, and Castle Shikigami 2 can continue its role and stop UN Squadron? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that is Side A of the bracket. All the first round matches are complete. Stay tuned for Side B bracket and second round action.